Hello, my name is Nicholas. I decided to go with Inspire because I'd been renting here in Barcelona since I arrived, 9 years. I'd been renting and I thought it was time to invest and also to put down some roots and actually purchase a property. So I actually got into contact with Inspire because it was recommended to me by a friend from my master, who I trusted a lot, and he had also used Inspire and told me great reviews about assistance he received from Inspire as well. So I decided to look it up, and as soon as I got in contact with Inspire, they explained me kind of the process and some of the things that the services that they provided, and I thought that it was really important that I not go this alone, essentially. So I think a lot of why I decided to go with Inspire was the confidence that they gave me, and that they would be an advocate on my side. So I think that was super important in terms of peace of mind, to be able to go through this process with a team by my side. I had done the purchasing process before in the States, but then having lived here and Spanish not being my native language, I thought it really important to have somebody that would be able to manage the process, to manage the contracts, and things of that nature, so that I wouldn't have to do it alone, essentially. And with such a large purchase and a purchase this important, for me, I thought it was well worth the investment to have an advocate on my side. And I think Inspire really, from the beginning, worked really hard to explain the entire process for me, to explain contracts as we went through them, and to go through the negotiation process as well. So that's something that I thought was really important, because as I had mentioned, Spanish is not my first language. So I thought it really important that I have somebody that was able to advocate for me and to really negotiate, not only directly with the owners, but also to have an idea of the market. Like for me, I had an idea of the market from just doing my own research, but then Raf, Anna, and Elena, the team really has good metrics and a good idea of what is a good price, what is overpaying, or what is kind of a premium. And I thought it really valuable from my point of view to also have that input, to know that I'm making a good purchase, that I'm not overpaying, that I'm doing all of the right legal processes and things like that. And they stood by me, the entire way. So that kind of peace of mind, that I was be able to know that somebody is also looking at all of these legal documents and making sure that I'm not getting taken advantage of. They had their due diligence and their own architects come in to inspect the property and make sure that nothing's wrong with it, and to make sure that all the paperwork was correct from that point of view. I thought was super important, and also just for me as well. Like I've been super busy at work, so it was really important for me as well to be able to handle this, while still juggling kind of personal life and professional life on my own. To have somebody looking after all of the steps in the process and making sure that I was going forward with everything properly, legally, and everything looked good with the contracts. I mean, additionally, for those of you who who don't have Spanish as a primary language, they also handle the translation of the contracts, to make sure that also I could read the contracts in English as well, which was super important for me, because of course, in any language, legal languages can be very dense. So they made sure that I was the contracts were translated so I could also understand them fully from my point of view. So in addition to that, they really just move things along really quickly. So for me, it was important to close this deal before the end of the year. Not just to have it done quickly, but also because I was applying for a mortgage, and the mortgage rates, with the uncertainty politically and economically in the world right now, it was really important for me to close at a really good rate. And the longer that I waited, it was a risk that I didn't want to take, that rates would also start to climb and become higher than I would want to pay for a loan. So also working with Aspire, they worked really hard to close things very quickly and to move things along as agilely as possible. And as I'd mentioned, I would not have been able to do that on my own, just because of my own personal matters, the language barrier, things like that. So I really relied on them to move things along, to make sure that everything was in the right place. They did that with the speed as well. And I think the last big thing that I really relied on for Inspire was their network. As I'm going through the process, they have their own architect to do the due diligence that they trust. They referred me to a mortgage broker who I was able to get a really great deal through. So I'm super thankful for them for all of that. And I would not have been able to research all of these individuals and to look up, you know, the notary, things like that, without spending a lot of time. So relying on them as well to give me the resources I needed to meet with the right people to also make this process move forward with the mortgage inspections, things of all that. Really grateful and helped so much. It was such a great investment to go with Inspire. In terms of the resources they provide, the guidance they provide, and all of the management of the process and how they move it forward quickly, I really think that it was an investment, because again, I wouldn't have been able to do any of that on my own, and to spend that money, I think I actually gained more, like in terms of the negotiation as well. I wasn't as confident that I would be able to negotiate the price that they were able to get to, because of course they speak in Catalan and Spanish, so they're able to connect to the owners and really speak to the owners about kind of my situation and their situation, and make sure that we get to a good purchase and selling price. So for me, it was really an investment, and you know, I'm really happy with the services they provided and the value that it provided me throughout the process. Like, it would have really been such a headache and such a hassle, and really a lot of stress, I think, had I not gone forward with Inspire, as they helped me along in the process.